Good afternoon, MacArthur parents. Welcome to our Parent Q A. The purpose of today is to go ahead and field any questions that you have as parents as we head into our new school year on August 17th, which is Monday, just a few days away. So again, you can type your questions directly into the chat box in YouTube, and we will answer them. We have a translator, so any questions asked will be translated into Spanish as well. So feel free to type in your questions, and as they appear on the screen, we will go ahead and answer them in the order that they're received.
Bienvenidos padres a nuestra reunión de preguntas y respuestas de la Escuela MacArthur. Vamos a tomar este tiempo para responder a sus dudas o preguntas que tengan al empezar en la escuela, que empezamos el lunes 17 de agosto. Si tiene alguna pregunta, a favor de ponerla en el chat. Y en el chat del YouTube, o también puede mandar un texto al 323-484-4377 y vamos a estar contestando las preguntas aquí en vivo por YouTube.
All right, and I just want to take a minute and introduce my team tonight. I'll introduce myself first. I'm Ray Gonzalez, the principal of MacArthur Fundamental Intermediate. Joining us tonight, or this afternoon, is also Assistant Principal Mr. Bayuk.
Hi, everyone.
Face Liaison Johan Arana.
Hello.
And School Counselor Miss Lori Tristan.
Hello.
Go ahead and start the Q&A portion of this. Go ahead and type in your questions, and we will try our best to answer them.
¿Tienen alguna pregunta, a favor de ponerla en el chat o mandar un texto al número que está en pantalla para poder empezar esa sesión de preguntas y respuestas?
So we have our first question. It's, when do students receive their instruments? Also, during the textbook pickup, we were told the 6th grade language arts writing books were not available yet. Will we get those before Monday? So first question is instruments. Dr. Holcroft, the band teacher, will explain the process for picking up instruments once school starts. It's not going to be the first day of school. It usually isn't, even when they're here physically. There's a check-in and check-out process for instruments and signing contracts and stuff like that. So that's something that will have to take place virtually, and she will explain that process as soon as the school year starts. As far as the language arts workbooks, they're called Study Sync. Those have not arrived yet, but they are available online, and your language arts teacher will explain to your student how to access the material online. Both the textbook and the Study Sync workbook will be available online. And as soon as we receive those, we will contact. We're trying to make it so it's just one more additional trip to school. We don't want to have you come for the instrument, then come for the study workbook, and then come for something else. We're trying to organize everything for one additional day where you guys could drive through and pick up materials like your instruments, your study sync books, and any additional materials that a particular teacher may want to give you.
La primera pregunta era sobre los instrumentos, si tienen clase de música. La doctora Holcroft se va a estar comunicando con ustedes ya que empiece la clase para ver qué es lo que van a hacer con los instrumentos y cuándo se les van a dar y quién tiene y quién no tiene. Entonces, en cuanto empiecen las clases, ella se va a comunicar con todos los padres vía ParentSquare. También la pregunta ahora que si ya tenían los libros de 6º grado para inglés, y todavía no están disponibles, pero están disponibles en línea, así que los maestros, ya que empiezan las clases, también le van a hacer saber cómo poder agarrar esos libros vía el internet y poderlos usar de esa manera.
The next question is, when we'll receive our agendas, because they weren't available. The agendas are back ordered. We've placed our order. They have not arrived. A lot of the print shops that we use are overwhelmed with filling agenda orders for schools across the state. And so as soon as we get them, we will let you know. We will be providing students with a digital agenda that we will share with them in an email that will help them stay organized. It will be a Google Sheet that's tailored to kind of their schedule, and they'll just be able to type in their assignments for each day. So that will kind of be the temporary agenda until we get a physical one, and hopefully that's soon. But we will definitely let everybody know when those arrive.
La próxima pregunta era sobre las agendas. Actualmente no hemos recibido las agendas, ya fueron ordenadas, pero no han llegado. No tenemos una fecha exacta en cuánto vayan a llegar, pero por lo mientras vamos a hacer una agenda digital donde su hijo o hija va a recibir un correo electrónico con esta agenda, y eso va a ser digital, y eso es para que también se pueda ayudar a sí mismo para ser un poco más organizado mientras nos llegan las agendas físicamente.
Okay, the next question is there an 8th grade social studies text? 8th graders are going to access their textbook online. It's a brand new textbook adoption year, so they'll be getting a brand new, not necessarily curriculum, but a set of textbooks to teach that curriculum, and that's going to be available online. And their teachers will explain the process for logging in and accessing the textbook through the textbook company's website.
La próxima pregunta es sobre el libro de Ciencias Sociales del grado 8. Este libro va a ser en línea, es el primer año que se está usando, entonces los maestros de esa clase le van a hacer saber cómo pueden registrarse para poder obtener ese libro, pero va a ser digital también.
Okay, we have another question is, do we still have to get school supplies, or is all that work going to be in Google Docs? We still recommend that students have or maintain a binder where they could physically organize their work. You know, they may want to take notes by hand because as their teacher's presenting on Zoom, they may want to take Cornell notes or some other form of notes, and then those notes could go in the folder. They're definitely going to need pencils and pens and paper to take those notes. Some teachers may give the option of taking those notes in a Google Doc or a sheet, but it's definitely safe and a good investment to go ahead and purchase some basic supplies. You know, that supply list is available on the MacArthur website, and you know, the hope is that someday soon we return physically to campus, and so when that day comes, you know, you would have those supplies ready to go and not having to rush out and buy them at the last minute.
La próxima pregunta es si todavía necesitan comprar los materiales escolares, y nuestra recomendación es que sí todavía los compren porque van a ocupar lápices, reglas, plumas, papel, todo eso, aunque vamos a estar, todo va a ser electrónicamente, todos esos materiales le van a ayudar para que se organicen también en casa y tengan también cosas que hacer que no sean en la computadora. Así que les recomendamos que puedan agarrar esos materiales, y si por cualquier cosa no pueden o no, se pueden contactar conmigo para ver qué podemos hacer.
The next question I'm going to need help with is, can another parent create his or her separate profile on Aries portal? At this point, I have to enter in my daughter's mom's phone info in order to even access my daughter's school info. So I'm going to ask either Mr. Bayuk or Ms. Tristan or Mr. Rana to help me with that question, because I don't know the answer to that particular one.
I was wondering that too. I think it's only linked to one parent, as far as I know. I don't know if you could have separate. Is that possible, Mr. Rana?
Yes, they just have to enter a separate account under contacts, under where it says father and mother. They have to enter their own email address, and then when they do that, we have to make sure that it's we say that it's linked to get them access to Aries, and then they should get an email that says how to download, and then they might need the verification code.
Okay, so I think the short answer to that question is yes, it is possible. It might be a lot easier for us to explain it to you over the phone. So if you want to give us a call tomorrow at 714-568-7700, you could ask to speak to our registrar or to one of the office members, and they should be able to help guide you in the right direction.
Esta pregunta era sobre Aries y si podían padres múltiples tener la cuenta y acceder a toda la información de su estudiante, y si se puede hacer, nada más tenemos que tener el correo electrónico de esa persona y darle acceso. Entonces se pueden comunicar con nosotros a la escuela para poder hacer esto si usted no tiene actualmente Aries.
The next question is, when do we pick up lunch cards for students? There are 2 pickup days. The first one was today from 12 to 3 p.m. and the next one is tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. You could stop by MacArthur. We have all the cards, and you would just give us your student name and we'll hand you a lunch card. And then my understanding is once you get the lunch card, you could pick up lunch from any school in Santa Ana with that lunch card. So you don't have to come to MacArthur. You just have to pick up the card from MacArthur, but then you could use it at any school site within Santa Ana Unified.
La pregunta era de cuándo podían recoger las tarjetas para recibir el lonche durante el año escolar. Y el primer día fue hoy de 12 de la tarde a 3 de la tarde. Y el segundo día es mañana de 8 de la mañana a 3 de la tarde. Entonces, si no han venido a recoger su tarjeta de lonche, la pueden hacer mañana. Y con esa tarjeta puede recoger el lonche en cualquier escuela en Santana que esté más cercana a usted.
All right. The next question is one that I see multiple times, so I'll answer it this one time, and then hopefully it will calm a lot of people down. It's when do we receive the schedule with Zoom link? So the goal is that tomorrow afternoon, in the later part of the afternoon, you will get an email from Mr. Bayuk or from some system that's going to have your student schedule, so just yours, and it's going to have your teachers as well as the Zoom links for the entire week. So you'll receive this email, you're going to open it up, it's going to be a schedule, and you're going to have your classes listed, and then next to it will be a link for that Zoom session. Mr. Bayuk, please let me know if I'm forgetting any other details that will be present on that schedule or that form.
It'll show, the teacher names, links, pertinent links. If the teacher's not using Zoom, we'll make sure to indicate how they're going to connect on that first day. We're also going to include some important information like, how do you get to Canvas, things like that. So we'll have some kind of important information to help guide you. But everything you need should be in that email in terms of a link to connect on Monday.
Yeah. Also want to let parents and students know that's like layer number one of getting connected. But we are also, there are other ways to get connected as well. If you log into Aeries student portal, you will see that that you're going to have your schedule there, and then there'll be links as well to the Zoom sessions. In Aeries parent portal and student portal, they've added two columns, one for for teachers to add their website, which would then be like Google Classroom or Canvas, and another column for teachers to add their meeting link, which is going to be their Zoom or their Google Meets link. So if all else fails, let's say you wake up Monday morning and you don't see the email from Mr. Bayuk, you can just log into Aeries student portal or parent portal and click on those links, and it will take you to the Zoom session that you need to be at. It may not show at this very minute, but that feature will be turned on hopefully in the next 24 hours. Actually, Mr. Bayuk, maybe you can answer. Is it turned on yet?
No, I think it's going to be turned on tomorrow, Friday afternoon is what they're going to do. And then this is going to the students' SAUSD Learns email. So you're going to go to your Google email, your Gmail, that is your SAUSD Learns email.
Esta pregunta era sobre el horario de clases con maestros y los enlaces para cómo entrar a las clases. Entonces, todo esto va a ser enviado al correo electrónico de su hijo o hija de SAUSD Learns el día de mañana por la tarde. Entonces, ellos van a recibir un correo electrónico con sus clases, y luego aparte a un lado de los maestros van a ver enlaces a cómo se tiene que conectar para el primer día y toda la primera semana. Entonces, es importante que chequen ese correo electrónico que va a llegar el día de mañana para que ellos estén preparados para el día lunes. También ahí vamos a poner diferente información importante de cómo acceder a Canvas, Google Classroom o todo lo que sea pertinente para ese día. Entonces, también en la cuenta de Aries de estudiante, si él se conecta con Aries en su Aries Student Portal, ahí pueden también entrar a las clases. Pues va a estar al lado del nombre del maestro y de la clase, van a tener los nombres de los del sitio web, si el maestro está usando el sitio web, o si hay algunos enlaces para las reuniones con los maestros, ahí lo puede hacer. Así que vamos a tener varias formas de cómo los estudiantes se pueden conectar, para que si a lo mejor una no le funciona a usted, pueda seguir con la otra y la otra, pero queremos que todos los estudiantes se conecten el lunes y de ahí en adelante, y por eso tratamos de hacerlo más fácil, y van a haber diferentes formas de cómo se puedan conectar, ya sea por Aries, Canvas, el correo electrónico que les vamos a mandar. Así que esté pendiente para el día de mañana con ese correo electrónico.
There's a question about Aries parent and student portals, and I know we talked a little bit about it, but just to clarify one more time, those are two separate accounts on Aries portal. It doesn't have anything to do with ParentSquare. Some of the questions on our Google Voice line. We're asking about ParentSquare and Aries. Those are two separate things. And on the Aries portal, there's actually a student side where students can sign in. They already have an account, even our sixth graders, with their learns.net accounts from the district. That's the student side. And then parents, you actually have to create the account for yourselves on the Aries portal. So it's the same portal, but you sign in two different ways. So the parent side is with your personal email, and the student side is with the SAUSD learns.net email. We are going to send the schedule to the students' email accounts. So their SAUSD learns.net emails, and that's what they will need to check on Friday. But the students can also check their schedule on their Aries student portal when they sign in with their SAUSD learns.net emails. So hopefully that clarifies things. And parents, if you have not created the Aries parent portal account, I believe there's definitely directions on our school website on how to do that. And I believe Mr. Gonzalez also put instructions on ParentSquare on how to do that. Am I right, Mr. Gonzalez? Or
yeah, they're housed within the resource hub. So on ParentSquare, if you look off to the left-hand side towards the bottom, there's something called a resource hub. And if you click on that, I've created folders. One says Canvas, one says Google Classroom, and one says Aries. And I've placed documents in there to help parents log in.
And the one thing that you will need, parents, to create your Aries portal account is a verification code for your child. We actually printed that on the programs that you picked up at program verification. So on your student's course list, if you still have that, it will say verification code. It's up towards the top of the piece of paper. It's probably about the third of the way down, and it'll say verification code. It's a code that's a combination of letters and numbers. Type in everything as all caps when you create your parent portal account. So as long as you either go to our website and follow the directions, or you look on ParentSquare to follow the directions, you should be able to create your parent portal account. Sorry, that was a very long explanation.
Clarificar, hay una cuenta de Aries que es para padres, una cuenta de Aries que es para estudiante, y está ParentSquare que es totalmente separado. Entonces, para crear, si no ha creado su cuenta de de Aries, lo va a hacer con su correo electrónico personal y el código de verificación del estudiante. Ese código lo puede obtener en la lista que le dimos de clases. Pero el correo que vamos a mandar mañana va a ir a la cuenta de los estudiantes del electrónico, eso es sausdlearns.net. Los estudiantes se meten a su cuenta de Aries, ellos con su ID de sausdlearns.net, y ellos tienen su contraseña. Entonces esos son dos diferentes, es el mismo sistema, pero tienen diferentes formas de ingresar. Entonces los padres con su correo electrónico personal y los estudiantes con el correo electrónico de la escuela. ParentSquare es totalmente diferente. Esta es otra plataforma de comunicación entre el distrito, la escuela y la comunidad y los padres. Entonces esos son totalmente diferentes. Entonces si no ha creado su cuenta, lo puede hacer en Aries, y el código de verificación está en la hoja que le dimos de clases durante la verificación de programa. Así que usted lo puede hacer de esa manera. Pero cualquier duda o pregunta que tenga sobre todo esto, se puede comunicar con nosotros también.
All right, next question is, do we have to wear uniforms on the first day of school? I know Mr. Bayuk answered it in the text, but I'll just say it out loud. You know, obviously we're not at school, so we don't require a school uniform virtually, but we do expect students to be dressed appropriately. You know, we want to kind of maintain a normal schedule for them, so they wake up, they get ready, and then join us on Zoom. But by no means do you have to wear a uniform.
La pregunta era eso, si tienen que usar el uniforme mientras están aprendiendo en casa. La respuesta es que no necesitan el uniforme porque están en casa, pero sí queremos que ellos se vistan como estudiantes y que tengan ropa apropiada. Entonces no queremos que ellos estén en pijamas ni nada de eso. Queremos que ellos tengan el mismo sistema que como si vinieran a la escuela. Así que se paren, se arreglen y estén listos para entrar a clase, aunque esta vez va a ser virtual, pero que hagan todos los pasos que hacían como si estuviéramos en la escuela, ya que algún día en el futuro vamos a regresar y van a tener que hacer eso.
All right, next question is school ID. We will not be passing out school IDs because we can't have kids physically on campus to take pictures just yet. So at some point in the future, if we're allowed, then we would take care of that, the week or two after kids return to school. But for now, there are no school IDs. We have no future date for school IDs. So it's going to be one of those things where we have to kind of address when we get to that point.
La pregunta era si va a haber identificación de la escuela para los estudiantes. En el momento no vamos a tener IDs de la escuela. No podemos tener estudiantes en la escuela para tomar fotos. Y ahorita no tenemos una fecha donde eso pueda pasar. Si en el futuro ocurre, le vamos a hacer saber. Pero en el momento no va a haber IDs de la escuela.
All right, next question. And there's kind of two questions related to this. It's how about AR? And then somebody asked, AR reading books online, how does that work? So the students are going to have access to multiple online libraries. One of them, Sora, there's the National Library of Congress, there's a few others, and then teachers have some additional resources as well. AR is actually in intermediate school, it's called Reading Counts. So in elementary school, you may be familiar with Accelerated Reader. Here at MacArthur, we use a different program, but it's the same concept. It's called Reading Counts, where kids read books and they take tests and they get certain points for the difficulty or the length of the book, and it counts the words they read. And we do have grade level goals for each of our students. And Miss Tristan, you're going to have to help me here. For sixth grade, I believe it's 850,000. Is that correct?
500,000.
No, just kidding, 500,000.
500,000. Seventh grade is 800, and eighth grade is 1.5 million words.
Right.
Yes.
So I was off by a grade. I
We're off
apologize.
just a little bit.
Don't. I hope I didn't scare any sixth graders away by telling them they have to read 850,000 words. So that's kind of a MacArthur school-wide expectation. So they will still be able to read books online. I know some teachers have systems set up where they can check out books. They have resources that they can share with kids. And then I don't know at this point if, and Mr. Arana, you probably know, I believe the public libraries are closed, correct?
But
there are online options from the public libraries too. If you have a public library card, there are many ebooks that you can check out. There are two apps. One is called Hoopla and one is called Libby. And all you do is you connect your public library card to those apps and you can actually read books online as well.
All right. Imelda has a question. Or actually, Mr. Arana, you want to translate? I'm sorry.
Y esa pregunta era sobre libros de lectura y AR, que esto es en la escuela primaria, pero aquí con nosotros en la intermedia se usa el programa que se llama Reading Counts, donde los estudiantes tienen que leer mínimo de una cantidad de palabras al año. Entonces, para los de sexto grado es 500,000 palabras, séptimo grado es 750,000 palabras y el octavo grado es 1.5 millones de palabras. Entonces, toda esa información hay diferentes sistemas para chequear libros en línea. Entonces los maestros de inglés les van a hacer saber y de ciencias sociales de cómo pueden hacerlo. También si usted tiene la tarjeta para sacar libros en la biblioteca pública, lo puede hacer por diferentes aplicaciones y puede también chequear libros de ahí. Entonces más información sobre esto va a ser dado a sus estudiantes por medio de sus maestros.
All right, next question is, hello, I got a question. When are the students going to get their stuff out of their lockers? So you can, if you're an eighth grader who's not returning to MacArthur and you need to get stuff out of your locker, you can call the front office and we could schedule a time for you to come in. The challenging part is that once Monday starts, you're expected to be in class from 7:50 until after lunch. And so we can't really have you come into campus during those hours because the expectation is you're learning. So it would have to be after school ends, which would be like 2:25 to 4 o'clock when our office is open. But we can't have people just show up and come and get their stuff. We have to call. We have to make sure that we're letting in one or two parents or students at a time and escorting them to the locker and then back out of the campus because we can't have large groups of students.
Si todavía tiene cosas, la pregunta era si todavía tenía artículos aquí en la escuela, en sus casilleros o lockers. cómo le pueden hacer. Tienen que venir y hablar primero para asegurarse que no haya tantas personal aquí en la escuela para que el de seguridad lo lleve a su hijo o hija a recoger sus cosas. Entonces es importante que llame antes de venir, pero puede hacerlo de la manera hablando a la oficina y ya de ahí es como si hiciera una cita y ya lo puede hacer. Entonces casi el último día que lo puede hacer es mañana porque después tendrían que estar en la escuela como de 8 a 2:30 de la tarde. Entonces, ya para la semana que viene, ya tendría que hacerlo entre las 2:30 y las 4 de la tarde, que es cuando la oficina está abierta, porque durante el otro horario su hijo o hija debería de estar en la escuela. Entonces, si quiere, puede venir mañana a hablar para hacer una cita para mañana y pueda venir. Y si no, va a ser en las próximas semanas, pero nada más entre 2:30 y 4, que es cuando la oficina está abierta.
Okay, next question is, are students expected to be online during the full 70-minute class, or will there be scheduled breaks? So that 70 minutes is going to be a combination of things. It may be, and it may differ from day to day, but I imagine that teachers will, so let me restate that. I imagine that students will have some time throughout a 70-minute period to work independently, meaning maybe they're given a task. The first 20 or 30 minutes is the teacher teaching the lesson for the day, and then the teacher may say you have 15 minutes or 20 minutes to complete this task. They're going to stay on Zoom. The students will stay on Zoom, but the students may be able to turn off their camera and their mic while they work independently. And then that would also be an opportunity for the student to go use the restroom, get a drink of water, and then come back and finish their work. And then when the teacher says, go ahead and turn on your cameras and your mics, and we're going to go ahead and finish today's lesson. So, and then on top of that, they have the additional 5 minutes between each class to use the restroom and take a quick break.
La pregunta era sobre si los estudiantes van a estar en línea vía Zoom durante todos los 70 minutos que van a tener por cada periodo. Y la respuesta es que esto puede variar día por día. Los maestros van a dar sus lecciones durante un tiempo de eso, pero después de la lección van a tener los estudiantes tiempo de hacer trabajo independiente, donde ellos pueden apagar su cámara y trabajar en el trabajo que le está dejando el maestro. Y también durante ese tiempo puede ir al baño o puede agarrar un snack o lo que guste hacer, pero tiene que trabajar en ese trabajo que le dieron. Y ya después, cuando los maestros digan, ok, ya estamos listos para regresar, para terminar la lección, es cuando el estudiante va a prender su cámara otra vez y va a estar listo para terminar esos 70 minutos. Así que no significa que van a estar en la cámara por los 70 minutos, pero puede variar día por día.
Can I explain about the specific class details that a lot are asking about, like PE or yearbook? How's that going to work? And just a lot of the little details that you are asking about the classes. I just ask that you have some patience, and your teachers will actually explain all of that the first 2 days of school. So yearbook will work like a class. Mr. Celestina will talk about that when the yearbook class happens on Tuesday, I believe it is. And then PE, all of your PE teachers will explain what you're going to be doing. Music is going to work in the similar way. Dr. Holcroft will let you guys know what you're doing for music. I know you guys are excited to get to know what each class is doing. But those teachers, the first 2 days of school, I promise you, they will answer your questions and kind of explain to you how the classes are going to work. So just be a little patient, and they will let you know what's going to happen.
Muchos tienen preguntas sobre clases específicas como educación física, clases de yearbook o muchos de los electivos. Entonces nada más le pedimos que tengan paciencia con nosotros. Ya que empiecen las clases, los maestros van a ir por detalle en cómo va a funcionar cada clase, pero tenga por seguro que todas las clases vamos a hacerlo lo más regular que se pueda. Entonces va a haber clases de yearbook, va a haber clases de educación física donde ellos van a hacer actividad física en casa, y todas las clases van a ser lo más normal que se puedan, como si estuviéramos en clase. Nada más le pedimos un poco de paciencia y durante los primeros 2 días, la primera semana, los maestros van a comunicarse con su hijo o hija de cómo se va a tratar cada clase, pero todos van a tener algo que hacer.
All right, the next question that I see that hasn't been answered yet is
there was a question about summer reading. Was there a summer reading book this year?
Unfortunately, those books were not delivered in time to distribute for the summer. So No, technically there wasn't. We did post the summer reading packet online for those students who wanted to go out and purchase the book on their own, but it's not expected. Teachers are very well aware that the books were not distributed, and so therefore the assignments that go along with the summer reading program are not necessarily due.
Una pregunta era sobre si había lectura de verano. Desafortunadamente los libros no llegaron a tiempo y no podemos distribuirlos, pero sí le pusimos una lista en nuestra página web de libros que podían leer, pero no se va a pedir nada del estudiante que tenga que entregar.
All right, the next question is from Sup Dude. He wants to know if the students have to have their cameras on during the entire duration of class. And the answer to that is no. The expectation for us here at MacArthur is that every student, and this will be shared with the students the first couple of days of school, and we'll remind them throughout the day and throughout the first couple of weeks as a school, that the expectation is that they log on with their microphone muted, but their camera on. The teacher will take attendance, and then the teacher will let them know when they can turn their camera off. Also, we are providing students with some virtual backgrounds, so that way if they do want to be on camera, but they're just maybe, they don't want people to see their bedroom or see what's behind them, just for personal reasons, we're going to provide some MacArthur-friendly digital backgrounds for them to use, and hopefully that will eliminate some problems. But the expectation is microphone off, camera on, let the teacher take attendance, and then they will kind of direct the students on what's expected from that point forward. And it's going to really vary from teacher to teacher and from day to day, because some days it's going to be independent work and teachers working with a small group. And so there's no reason to have the camera on. It may be a full class discussion and you may need the camera on. So the students will have to listen to what the teacher is expecting for that day.
La pregunta era si tienen que tener la cámara prendida durante todo el día de clases. Entonces la respuesta es no, pero aquí en la escuela lo que les estamos pidiendo a todos los estudiantes es que empiecen con la cámara prendida y el micrófono apagado. Entonces, y ya después los maestros les van a avisar si la tienen que tener prendida o si la tienen que tener o si la pueden apagar o si desean estar en cámara o no. Entonces, le vamos a proveer también a todos los estudiantes diferentes paisajes que pueden poner en Zoom, como el que tengo yo. Entonces, todo eso le vamos a hacer para que si su hijo quiere estar en cámara pero no quiere que miren lo que está atrás de él o lo que sea, puede usar este background que es el paisaje, y lo puede usar. Pero los maestros le van a dar más detalles sobre si prefieren la cámara prendida o si la prefieren apagada, o si a lo mejor su hijo o hija no está entregando algunos trabajos o miran que no se está enfocando bien, a lo mejor sí le puedan pedir que tenga la cámara prendida para tener esa conexión con el estudiante. Pero todo eso va a variar, depende por el maestro.
All right, I'm going to just backtrack 1 second. There's a parent who has, I see it multiple times here, a question about Aries parent portal or student portal. I think the easiest way for us to help you is just to give us a call tomorrow at 714-568-7700. You could ask to speak to somebody who knows how to handle Aries parent portal. It's kind of complicated. It's going to be a different situation depending on what you have set up. So it's best to just call us and we could help you that way.
Si tiene algún problema con la cuenta de Aries o no sabe cómo crearla, se puede comunicar con nosotros aquí en la escuela y alguien le puede ayudar. Por aquí, por esta plataforma, es un poco difícil de explicar porque cada padre está en diferente situación de su cuenta. Entonces, si nos puede llamar al 714-568-7700 y le podremos ayudar para crear su cuenta o si tiene algún problema con su cuenta.
Next question is, do you have to have uniforms or regular clothes? Regular clothes are fine. I'll say it again. We just have to, we really want to encourage our kids to maintain some normal routines. We don't want them staying up till 2 in the morning and waking up at 7 o'clock. That's not enough sleep. And we want them to be presentable on camera. They don't have to have a uniform on, but dressed as nicely as they can for what they're about to do, which is learn online. Go ahead, Johan.
Can we share the schedule? I see a lot of people are also wondering about lunch. So can we share it on the chat?
Yeah, I did put a link. So if you
It's
scroll
on the
up, there's a link to the bell schedule. It's also on the school website.
Si
Yes.
tienen preguntas sobre el horario, favor de pusimos el link aquí también, el enlace aquí en el chat, pero también puede verlo en la página web de la escuela, en las redes sociales. Tenemos el schedule en todas partes. Entonces puede usted chequearlo y puede imprimirlo o lo que tenga que hacer para recordar y todo eso. Y ahí también está el horario de lonche de nuestro horario de lonche para que usted pueda planearlo con la escuela donde lo vaya a recoger.
Next question is one quick question for parents who don't have internet. Is there any Wi-Fi boxes available? We do have some hotspots available. However, they're not yet ready. We got them from the district yesterday. We have to activate them, which is kind of a time-consuming process. We're working on it all day today. They'll be working on it all day tomorrow. If by chance we get them ready by tomorrow, we will send out well, actually we have a waiting list, so we'll contact everybody on the waiting list. If for some reason you are not on the waiting list and you need a hotspot, you can call the front office tomorrow, 568-7700, and let them know you want to be put on the waiting list. I just ask one huge favor, because everybody's in different situations. If you truly need a hotspot because you have zero internet, zero Wi-Fi, then please call and put yourself on the waiting list. But if you have Wi-Fi and you're just concerned that it's going to slow down because you have multiple kids or because it's just not fast to begin with, we ask that you give next week a try. Try it out and see how it reacts to having your student online all day. And maybe it'll work out and then you don't need one. But what we're afraid of is if people start saying they need a hotspot and they don't really need one, then those who are in true need of a hotspot aren't going to get one. And that puts them in a really tough situation to learn online if they don't have any internet connection. So please be thoughtful of others. If it's a true need, we're willing to support you that way. But if it's just a convenience thing where you prefer to have one, we ask that you hold off until we get everybody that needs one a hotspot.
La pregunta era sobre los hotspots, que es el internet. Sí tenemos disponibles, pero ahorita están en el proceso de ser activados. Si usted todavía no está en la lista de espera, a favor de llamar a la oficina para ponerse en la lista de espera para recibir esos hotspots. Nada más le pedimos que tenga sinceridad y que realmente necesite este hotspot o internet. No nada más lo pida porque quieren uno para cada estudiante o piensa que su internet no va a servir o cualquier otra cosa, porque en realidad no tenemos tantos hotspots para todos los estudiantes. Y así que si tiene algún tipo de internet, trate de usarlo la semana que viene y mirar si le funciona o no, y ya después chequear con nosotros. Primero queremos realmente darle ese internet a los estudiantes que no tienen para que ellos se puedan conectar empezando el lunes.
All right, next question, it's not a question but a comment from Madi Perez, thanking us and letting us know that we're doing a good job informing you. We definitely appreciate the positive feedback. We're all working extremely hard and very long days to prepare for the first day of school. So we definitely love the feedback and letting us know what's working and not working. So you could thank us anytime you want, and we will gladly accept it. So thank you for thanking us.
Before you translate, I also just want to say, and we've told this to our staff, yes, thank you so much for being just flexible with us and patient. We know that this year is not going to be perfect, and we are trying really hard to make it as successful a year as we can for your students and for you all as our parent supporters and families. But we just ask that you reach out to us if you need any help, and we'll gladly help you all out as well.
Nada más Mari Pérez nos estaba diciendo que muchas gracias por todas las comunicaciones que hemos tenido con todos los padres y familias. Nada más queremos agradecerle y apreciamos que nos digan qué está funcionando, a lo mejor qué no está funcionando de lo que nosotros estamos haciendo para poder mejorar la escuela y también tener esa mejor comunicación con todos ustedes. Pero muchas gracias por ser flexibles. Sabemos que esto es algo nuevo para todos nosotros, tanto como ustedes están aprendiendo, nosotros también estamos aprendiendo este modo virtual. Entonces, muchas gracias por su flexibilidad, paciencia y queremos nada más avisarles que nosotros estamos disponibles para lo que ustedes necesiten. Si tienen alguna pregunta o duda, o queja, se puede comunicar con cualquiera de nosotros para hacernos saber y tratar de ya sea mejorar o continuar haciendo lo que sigamos haciendo.
Next question is, let's see. What are we going to do for PE? That's been answered already. There's one in Spanish. I don't know if Mr. Arana or Miss Tristan. It's mijo.
It's about Canvas help, because it was saying that the Chromebook is blocked for Canvas. So Mr. Bayuk, I think, posted a YouTube video on how to log in.
La pregunta sobre para Celestina Canadá, si su hijo no puede meterse a Canva porque dice que está bloqueado, a favor de seguir el enlace que pusimos en el chat de cómo meterse a Canvas. También mandamos ese enlace por ParentSquare. El día de hoy también mandamos eso para que usted pueda chequearlo y decirle cómo se pueda meter.
All right. Our student's going to be logged in all day. That's from Julie Reinero. You can click on the, if you go to the MacArthur website, the schedule's posted there and it shows the hours for each class or the minutes for each class and what the daily schedule will look like. So the short answer to that question is no, they're not going to be logged on all day. It's kind of, the school day's cut in half in a sense, meaning they have some before lunch obligations and then some after lunch opportunities to take part in.
Si tienen más preguntas sobre si tienen que estar en Zoom o en internet, en la computadora todo el día, puede meterse a la página web de nosotros o en el enlace aquí en el chat. Ahí pusimos nuestro horario de cada día. Tienen obligaciones en la mañana y hay muchas oportunidades en la tarde después del lonche, así que le pedimos que chequee nuestro horario para que y lo imprima y lo tenga visible para que su hijo y usted estén al pendiente de lo que está pasando.
All right, the next question is, what about ParentSquare if we have two students at MacArthur? You should only have to log in once and both students should be connected to the same ParentSquare. For example, I have 3 kids that go to school in Garden Grove and we use ParentSquare and Garden Grove Unified. And so when I log in to my ParentSquare for Garden Grove Unified, all 3 of my kids appear there and then I could click on the picture of each kid and it will give me the messages that apply to that kid only.
De ParentSquare nada más si tiene varios hijos en cualquier, ya sea aquí en la escuela o en otras escuelas, nada más se tiene que meter a ParentSquare una vez, crearlo y depende la información que tenga. Si todos sus hijos tienen esa información, automáticamente se les van a agregar a los hijos que tienen, ya sea que tengan aquí o en otras escuelas, y donde dicen las escuelas, ahí nada más va a seleccionar a qué escuela está y ahí le dan los mensajes de cada escuela.
All right, next question is, if we already had an Aries account created, do we need to create another one? No, it should carry over from your previous school. It's your login and it's connected to your student and to your contact information. So all you have to do is log in and it will be refreshed with this year's information.
And if you have multiple students at multiple schools, you can tie them together to your same parent account. You will just need the verification code for your other child.
Si tienen cuenta de Aries que ya tuvieron, nada más no tiene que crear otra nueva, con la misma que tiene se puede meter, y así tiene otros estudiantes adicionales, nada más lo tiene que agregar para a su misma cuenta, igual como ParentSquare, va a seleccionar a qué estudiante y puede cambiar entre estudiante y estudiante para ver los diferentes estudiantes que tenga.
All right, Daisy E is asking about AR and reading for tests. So as I mentioned earlier, so we don't have AR at MacArthur Intermediate. We have reading counts, which is a similar platform and similar concept. Students read books, they take tests, and they get a word count. They get X amount of words for that book. We have grade level goals for our students. So again, I'll try this again, Miss Tristan. For 6th grade, it is 500,000. For 7th grade, it's 800,000. And for 8th grade, it is 1.5 million.
You got it.
Right. I feel like I'm the principal.
Good job. You're the principal.
Yeah. So those are the counts for each grade level. We do encourage them to read. There will be online resources for books. And at some point, if we're able to check out books to students, we will. But for the time being, that's not an option. So we're really going to have to depend on online resources to help kids get to read or continue to read. Hope that answers the question.
Esta pregunta era sobre AR, que ya habíamos contestado anterior, pero sí, nada más aquí no se usa AR, se usa Reading Counts, y en el chat pusimos los niveles que tienen que leer para cada año. Toda la lectura va a ser electrónica y los maestros le van a dar más información sobre todo esto.
All right, this question's for Kathy Jagodnik. Tell Cole I said hi, by the way. Will this conversation be recorded for working parents who can't get on right now? Absolutely. As soon as we're done with this YouTube live session, it gets posted to our YouTube channel and it's available to view at your convenience.
Esta sesión va a ser es grabada, así que la vamos a poner en nuestro canal de YouTube después de que terminemos.
Can I answer the question about clubs?
Yes.
All right. So the answer to the various questions that we have about clubs, because it looked like the next few are talking about clubs. Yes, we will have clubs. They will be offered virtually. So probably around the second or third week of school, we will gather the information from the teachers that are going to be running clubs. And then we'll go ahead and send that information out to students so that they know which clubs that they can join. And we will have the times that the clubs will be offered. And that will all be sent out to students. So just know, yes, we will have clubs. It will take us a couple of weeks to get those going, and we will send out that information just as soon as we can. It will all happen virtually.
La pregunta era sobre si va a haber clubes en la escuela y la respuesta es sí, sí van a haber clubes, van a ser virtualmente, pero denos un par de semanas para averiguar todo esto, preguntar quién va a correr cada club, pero en cuanto tengamos esa información le vamos a hacer saber a todos ustedes para que su hijo tenga opción a cuál club quiera ir y cuál es de su interés.
All right. Let's see. We're at 3:48 right now, and we have an additional meeting at 4 o'clock that we have to attend. So we're going to try to get through as many of these as possible.
And some of them were already answered, Mr. Gonzalez, just to let you know.
There's a question about sports.
Sport, yeah. Where is it at?
Sandy Sierra is asking, is there going to be sports?
So for the time being, there are no sports. We can't have large gatherings at school or anywhere for that matter. So those are all put on hold. Even at the high school level, they're put on hold until further notice.
La pregunta era si va a haber deportes y actualmente no hay deportes, ningún tipo de deporte en la escuela. Si eso cambia, nosotros le haremos saberlo en cuanto sepamos.
We have another question about if my son has a doctor's appointment during the day, what are the steps that I need to do with the school? So you're going to treat that just like as if he was physically here, except obviously you don't have to pick him up because he's already at home with you, but you do have to call the attendance number and let them know that your student will not be attending that day's Zoom sessions because they have a doctor appointment. So in the same fashion that you would write a note, which you can't do anymore, it's just going to be a phone call instead.
Si su hijo o hija no va a asistir a una sesión de Zoom o por cita o por cualquier otra cosa, tiene que comunicarse con la escuela y hablar para dar su ausencia. Entonces, no va a mandar notas esta vez, pero tiene que hablar a la línea de asistencia y ahí puede decir qué periodo no va a asistir o si no va a asistir todo el día para que nosotros estemos al pendiente, porque si no, estemos al pendiente de su estudiante, ya que también nosotros estamos mirando quién está yendo a clases y quién no y comunicándonos con los padres.
Very, very briefly about lunch ID cards. The last day to pick them up, or at least the last day that we're aware of, is tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. here at MacArthur. So you come and pick up the card, and then that allows you to pick up lunch at any school in Santa Ana Unified starting Monday.
Sobre las tarjetas para agarrar el lonche, el día para recogerlas es mañana de 8 de la mañana a 3 de la tarde aquí en la escuela. Es como estilo drive-thru, entonces va a pasar y va a dar su nombre para recoger la tarjeta y esa tarjeta la puede usar en cualquier escuela aquí en Santana.
There was a lot of questions about Tiger Connection. Do you want me to talk about that for a minute?
Sure.
Okay, so just really quickly, Tiger Connection is a class. So students will be starting off with Tiger Connection every morning on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. No Tiger Connection on Wednesdays. On your schedule that you're going to get on Friday, it will show up as 0 period, or it's called seminar. That's your Tiger Connection class that will start at 7:50. So that will happen, like I said, Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. It is a class, and we do expect you to attend to it. We will explain this to you again on Friday, just so that you're super clear, and you will get a Zoom link to Tiger Connection along with the other class period.
De la mañana, lunes, martes, lunes y viernes. Y en el correo que vamos a mandar mañana, ahí va a estar el enlace para cómo se pueda conectar a esa clase de Tiger Connection, como a las otras clases del día restante. Así que toda esa información la vamos a mandar el día de mañana. Pero Tiger Connection es una clase y su hijo o hija se tiene que conectar empezando a las 7:50.
All right. We still have a few more minutes. If your student's having issues logging into reading counts, they can let their language arts teacher know, and they can reset their password or give them the new password. So that's going to be done through your language arts teacher.
Si tiene preguntas entrando al programa Reading Counts, se tiene que comunicar con su maestro de inglés y ellos le pueden ya sea restablecer la contraseña o darle información de cómo cambiarla.
Kathy Nguyen has a question. Since there will be a considerable amount of independent work during school hours, are teachers assigning additional homework for after hours as well? So that's going to vary from teacher to teacher, but the conversations that we've had as a school and as a staff is that we are going to take that into consideration, that you've been behind a computer all day, but there are going to be times where you may have a little bit of classwork and then also have to do homework. Just like when school was in session, you know, the time that you did at school is for interacting with your peers and your teacher and getting the curriculum. And then occasionally you're going to have to do homework outside of school hours. I think the biggest challenge is because you're physically at home all day, it seems like it's all one giant clump of work. But you're entitled to take a break and do your homework in the evening, just like you would in a normal, school day.
La pregunta era si los maestros van a dar trabajo adicional para hacer como tarea, ya que están haciendo trabajo independiente durante la clase. Eso puede variar, ya que es como si estuvieran en la escuela y hacen trabajo, dan la lección y luego hacen trabajo en clase, y lo que no terminan lo hacen de tarea. Así que eso puede variar de clase en clase, pero nada más ahorita como están en casa se siente que es mucho el trabajo, pero realmente estamos tratando de hacer lo mismo que hacían en la clase. Entonces, depende, puede recibir ya sea tareas, pero usted también tiene acceso a recibir descansos y todo eso en casa.
All right. Question about how will reading count assessments work. Your language arts teacher will explain the process, but they are, for just a general answer is, they're done online, and so the student takes an online assessment once they're done reading a book. That's your turn, Johan.
Sobre Reading Count, ellos tienen que leer el libro y el sistema automáticamente les da el examen de su comprensión. Entonces, depende cómo lo lean, ahí les dan el puntuaje que recibieron por cada libro que hayan leído.
A question about 504 plans. If your student has a 504 plan, you will be contacted by one of the administrators when your time is up. So 504 plans last a year. They have like a year expiration date. And so we go through and look at when the last time it was updated. And when we get near that point, we reach out to the parents and schedule a meeting. Of course, we're not going to schedule a physical meeting. It would be a Zoom session where we connect with you and see if there's any updates or how we could adjust the 504 plan to suit your students' educational needs.
Si tiene oh my God, I think I totally lost you. I was looking at the
Don't worry, we're only live, Johan. It's okay.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Sorry, guys, it's been a long day.
Si su hijo tiene un 504 plan y si tienen eso ustedes van a saber, pero es nada más le pedimos comunicación entre ustedes y los maestros y administración para ver qué se le puede hacer para ayudar a su hijo o hija.
And then links for these schedules, again, if you're just joining us, they are going out on Friday. They will be emailed out to your students along with their schedule, and they will also be activated on the Aries student portal so that the students know exactly where to go on Monday at 7:50 in the morning.
Y apenas están entrando los enlaces para las clases, van a ser enviados mañana con su lista de clases y maestros. Entonces, espere un correo electrónico a su hijo o hija mañana por la tarde. I know they were asking also about if they need the lunch cards to have breakfast and lunch. I think they do, right?
Yes.
Yes, the lunch cards will, when they pick up a lunch, they're going to get 3 meals. They're going to get lunch. They're going to get what's called a super snack, and that's kind of like a light dinner, and they're going to get breakfast for the next morning. So they'll get 3 meals in one, and they'll keep them fed for an entire day.
La pregunta era si ocupa la tarjeta de lonche para recibir el lonche en las escuelas y la respuesta es sí ocupa la tarjeta porque actualmente los estudiantes no van a seleccionar el número o tocar nada en la escuela. Entonces con la tarjeta nada más le van a hacer escanear le van a escanear y ya va a aparecer el nombre del estudiante que se le dio el lonche. Entonces en ese lonche se le va a dar el lonche, un super snack y también un desayuno para el otro día. Así que ese lonche, no sé si lo hayan agarrado en el verano, pero es el paquete que ya viene con todo completo. Entonces, ese se le va a dar cada día para que tengan comida para el desayuno de los próximos días, un lonche y un snack como para la tarde.
All right.
A question about reading counts assessment, because I know Ms. Padilla asked this a couple of times, and I don't know if we answered it, but reading counts assessments, the language arts teacher is going to remind the students and explain to the students how to do that the first week probably. They'll make sure that they're all able to log in. I know some of our incoming 6th graders that came to Tiger training have already been talked to about reading counts, but that is okay. We're going to talk to them again the first week of school, and then the teachers will explain how to do the assessments. Everything, of course, is going to be done online. So they will need a sign in, and then the teachers will let them know when they can take the assessments, how to select their books for reading counts, all of that good stuff.
Sobre reading counts, los maestros le van a dar más información sobre todo esto, de cómo tomar el examen, cuándo está abierto para tomar el examen, cómo seleccionar los libros y todo eso. Entonces, más información sobre reading counts se lo va a dar en la clase de inglés de su hijo o hija.
All right. One quick response. It was answered in the chat, but I'll answer it out loud. Where is the schedule going to be sent to? It's going to be sent to your student's school account. That's the sausdlearns.net account. So if they know how to log into Google Drive, all they got to do is click on the top right-hand corner, the little waffle-looking icon, and there's a Gmail icon they click on, and they open it up, and they should get an email from Mr. Bayuk. Mr. Bayuk, or just read the subject line that's going to say student schedule, and then they click on it, and they'll have access to all their Zoom links.
Una última vez más, la lista de clases con los enlaces y toda la información importante para el primer día va a ser enviado al correo electrónico de su hijo o hija. Entonces se va a meter en Google, va a seleccionar donde está que se miran muchos puntitos arriba, seleccionar ahí, luego de ahí va a ir a Gmail y eso se va a conectar a la cuenta de SAUSD Learns de su hijo o hija. Entonces de ahí ya puede seleccionar el correo y de ahí puede ver las clases, los enlaces, información importante para el primer día.
There's a question on the Tiger line about Canvas. In elementary school, they were not able to access it after a certain time. Is that the case for us? Is it locked out at a certain time?
No, it's available 24 hours a day, although it's not wise for students to, do work at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. But no, it is accessible all day, every day, even on Easter.
La pregunta era sobre Canvas, si nada más pueden accederlo durante el horario de clases y no, eso está abierto todo el día, noche, todos los días, lunes a domingo.
Or Easter. Translate right, Johan?
O también el día de Pascua y Navidad y todos los días festivos.
All right.
I have a question on my text. It said, can we delete YouTube on my daughter's Chromebook?
YouTube, you can't block. Yeah, unfortunately, unless you have your own computer with your own filtering software, you can't block websites.
Yeah, and it's actually going to be a tool for our kids because some teachers are going to, record things, either lessons, or they may reference a YouTube video to help, present a topic. So it's actually a tool that we'll be using quite often.
Alguien preguntó que si podía remover YouTube de la computadora de su hijo o hija. Desafortunadamente no puede bloquearlo de las computadoras de los estudiantes y su Chromebook. Si tiene su computadora personal, a lo mejor sí lo puede hacer, pero de las de Chromebook no se puede. Y también YouTube lo van a usar como una forma educativa, ya que los maestros van a hacer videos o lecciones que ellos puedan repasar también por YouTube. Así que puede ser información, depende cómo lo usen, puede ser información educativa que les va a beneficiar.
All right, we're going to go ahead and stop here because it's 4:02 and we do have another Zoom session that we have to run. But I do just want to end this parent Q&A with a few hopefully encouraging words, and that's, this is all new to us, including teachers, principals, school counselors, students. We're all going into Monday with the best intentions and the best, hopefully the best results, but we know it's going to be a very challenging experience on Monday. We're going to be patient with students. We ask that you be patient with us. We don't want to overwhelm our students that first week and just bombard them with all kinds of things. I think our biggest challenge and goal for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is to make sure that your kids get logged on and they're in those Zoom sessions, so that way we can connect with your kids, and then we will take it from there. And we will be in constant contact with you as parents when we need things from you on the parent side. But we really just need an all-out effort by everybody to get connected on Monday morning. And I say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday because those are all unique days, meaning Monday you're going to go to periods 1, 2, and 3 and Tiger Connections at the beginning. Day number 2, you're going to go to Tiger Connections in the morning, and then periods 4, 5, and 6. And then Wednesday is a unique schedule because it's no Tiger Connections and then periods 1 through 6. So each of those days might look a little different. And so I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page and that we're all trying our best to get connected. If we get connected on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, then the rest of the week should go just fine. But I don't want to overwhelm you. I don't want to overwhelm your students. And we want to make sure that we're just easing into this. And then once we get established and we know that things are working, then our teachers are going to do what they do best, and that's teach. And so we got to give them that opportunity and trust that they're going to do, what it is that they do every year. And that's, mold your kids into fine young women and men. So that's it. Thank you guys. I know there's some questions we weren't able to answer. If I get a chance tonight, I'll go through and maybe I'll send out a parent link and summarize some of the questions that we weren't able to answer. If it doesn't come tonight, maybe tomorrow morning.
Muchas gracias a todos por acompañarnos en esta sesión de preguntas y respuestas. Ahorita estamos enfocando en empezar el día lunes, que todos se puedan conectar. Así que si su hijo o hija no se ha metido a Canvas, favor de hacerlo para que el lunes no tengan problemas. Entonces también le pedimos mucha paciencia. Nosotros vamos a tener paciencia con todos los estudiantes y le pedimos también lo mismo de ustedes. Entonces queremos que se puedan conectar el lunes, martes y miércoles, ya que esos 3 días son diferentes, ya que cada día se conectan a diferentes clases y el miércoles se conectan a todas las clases. Entonces si ya vemos que ellos se conectaron el lunes, martes y miércoles, ya jueves y viernes va a ser un poco más difícil, ya más fácil, ya que saben qué es lo que están haciendo y todo eso, pero siempre nosotros vamos a estar aquí disponibles para ayudarlos. La próxima semana vamos a tener sesiones de Zoom y vamos a estar disponibles por teléfono para ayudarle a cualquier padre o a cualquier persona que tenga problemas para ingresar y apoyarlos durante ese tiempo. Y así no pueden conectar temprano, hacer lo posible para conectarse lo más pronto posible. Entonces vamos a mandar toda esta información en el correo electrónico que va a recibir su hijo o hija. También va a estar en el sitio de Canvas. Así que es muy importante que que tengamos esa comunicación. Nosotros vamos a estarnos comunicando con ustedes, así como lo hemos hecho desde ahorita, con diferente información que va a ser para que pueda mejorar, pueda planear todo el lunes y que todo el día lunes corra como va a ser. Sabemos que van a haber a lo mejor problemas técnicos y todo eso, ya que todo eso es nuevo, pero esperamos que todo sea bien, pase bien y tengan un exitoso primer día de clases. Y de antemano le damos muchas gracias a todos ustedes por el apoyo que nos están dando desde casa con todos sus hijos, porque sin su apoyo no podríamos hacer nosotros lo que estamos haciendo. Entonces, muchas gracias y que tengan una feliz tarde.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. Bye.